Hey everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. I was introduced by my next two guests by Dr. Neil Barnard, and I was on their show, and I said, well, you have to be on mine. And I said, why don't we do an Iron Chef? Now, if you follow me regularly, you know, we did a week's worth of Iron Chefs, but one day we missed because the chef was sick, and I'm like, well, we have to make that up. But y'all said, yeah, too many savory ingredients. Let's do something sweet. So I got two sweet ladies, three sweet ingredients, secret ingredients. And my attempt is never to trick my chefs. It's to show you guys you can come home from work and just make something delicious, healthy with whatever you have on hand. Please welcome to the show, Sersie Blue and Gigi Carter. It's nice to see you guys again.
Hey, we're excited to be here.
Yes.
Okay, well, so in case my audience is unfamiliar with you and your work, maybe you could one at a time tell us who you are, what you do, if you have a culinary point of view, if you have one. I know you guys work together, but you probably also do things separately.
Yeah, Gigi, you can go first.
Yeah. So my name is Gigi Carter. I am a licensed nutritionist. I'm co-founder of Daniel Fast, A Bridge to Healthy Living, and co-creator of DanielsPlate.com, which is a whole food, plant-based, vegan recipe website. No oil at all in our recipes, no added sugar. So super healthy, nutritious. And my culinary point of view is pretty similar to what we have on DanielsPlate.com. So it's basically whole plant foods and are close to their most natural state. I do love to try and veganize popular like animal product dishes that I used to eat in a previous life. So you'll see a few of those recipes on there, but by and large, most of them are somewhat simple recipes with a few that might be a little more elaborate, but just to mix it up a little bit.
Nice, thank you. And what about you, Sersie? And then one of you tell what you guys do together as well, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I'm Sersie Blue. I'm also the co-founder of Daniel Fast, A Bridge to Healthy Living. And the term Daniel, if you're not familiar, is actually a term from the Bible, which Dr. Greger says so funny is he says it's the first clinical trial for a plant-based diet. But for those of you who are not familiar, we developed this program based on the story out of the Bible, which Daniel, who ended up eating a whole bunch of plant foods and was stronger than all of his peers. And so during the pandemic, Gigi and I met. We actually just met for the first time a month ago, face to face, because we actually birthed this business out of COVID-19 when we were seeing just the high rates of people that were having complications and dying of COVID because of comorbidities. And this was actually even higher in the Black community. And so Gigi and I both were plant-based enthusiasts. And so we got together to say, listen, we have an answer for this. So we developed the Daniel Fast, A Bridge to Healthy Living, which is geared towards people who want to use their faith in food to get healthy and to be strong. And my culinary point of view is obviously, like Gigi just said, it's just having people fall in love with real food. I try not to add anything into it like additives or oils or sugars, but just cooking with food that is straight from the earth and that you can, make delicious things and kind of live a healthy life. And so that is our project together, and we're excited about being here on Chef AJ, who her philosophy is exactly the way we live and eat, and so we're excited to be here.
Yeah, yes. I'm excited to have you because you're the first chefs. We've done, I think, 6 or 7 Iron Chefs, and you're the first ones to have not savory ingredients.
Oh, cool.
So I'm glad though, because I think dessert is one of those things that people kind of think, you know what, you have to compromise. And I'm kind of really intrigued about being able to use real food for dessert. So let's see.
Your cooler and your shirt match. I can't wait. So you guys didn't sneak a peek, did you?
No, we did not sneak a peek.
Okay.
No, but I will say, Chef AJ, my husband had trouble finding one of the ingredients.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I tried to make it common. Where do you live?
Well, I live on an island.
I did not know that. Because I did not
know
that.
It's okay. He thinks he got something that should work. So, and then he said, so we've got an Armageddon pantry in our house. I call it an Armageddon pantry, but it's basically, I've got a big pantry in the basement of my house because we live on an island and it's just stockpiled with a bunch of staples and things. So hopefully, he said he found it in the Armageddon pantry. So
I am so sorry. I had no idea because I try to make things like that just where it's the local Winco. So
it's not, no, it's not your fault. It's sometimes what happens is we will have the ingredient like 1 week, but then it'll be gone for a few weeks and then it'll come back. So it's kind of like a supply issue. It's not that we never carried the ingredient. I don't even know what it is, but whatever it is, it's not, it's one of those things where we, kind of go through these situations where we've got shortages. So
well, maybe when you open it, you'll tell me which one it is, because that would be interesting. As long as you're working with the same ingredients, it's fair. And also, please know you can use anything that you already have in your pantry.
Okay.
All right, so I am going to put you guys in gallery mode. I'm going to take myself off. You'll be able to hear me. So why don't you guys open up your secret cooler and tell us what you have.
Oh, man. Oh, we have some sprouted rolled oats.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, good. Okay.
Cherries.
Cherries. I've got rolled oats. Is that right?
Yeah, it didn't have to be sprouted, but as long as you both have oats and cherries, and the third ingredient
is dates.
Yay!
Okay. So Kevin got me two sets of dates. I don't know why.
Maybe he was confused as which one was best.
So Gigi, what ingredient do you think was the one he had trouble finding?
I have no idea. I honestly have no idea because these are ingredients we always have. So he's on a conference call right now. When he comes up, I'll ask him which one he was questioning. So
wow, maybe the chair. No, but you wouldn't have that in your Armageddon, so it has to be.
No. Yeah, well, yeah, he got this out of the Armageddon closet. So it must have been the dates. He was maybe confused on the dates, but anyway, I've got two kinds of dates now.
Well, I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. And those of you watching live, why don't you type in the chat what you would make, and I'll type what I would make, but we don't want to give them any hints.
Yeah, don't give us any hints. This will be fun. Okay, so this is very doable. This is very doable, Cersei. We got this. We got this, Cersei. We got this. All right, let me think for a moment. All right. Let's see. All right. So I can't chop an onion. Chef AJ said that's what she does. Because,
yeah, but we're doing savory, but
chopping an onion right now is not going to help me. All right.
Melt. You could always melt chocolate. That could always be the first step. Ooh, people are giving wonderful suggestions in the chats, but you guys can't.
Tell me that.
Guys, keep them coming.
If you get stuck, there's at least 5 or 6 that are really good ideas, and they all sound great. I just feel like cherry season is so short,
It is short. It's way too short, and it's right on the verge right now. It's like almost over. So
I think what I'm going to start with actually for this is, I don't know what I'm exactly going to do with these dates yet, but I'm going to go ahead and soak them in some, they're pretty soft, but I'm going to soak them in some warm water just to make sure that they're even more pliable. And wow, he even got ones without the pit. Good, great job, hubby. So nice. I'm going to go ahead and kind of soak these for a little bit while I kind of stir my, my creativity to see what I'm going to make. But a lot of times I soak dates because if I'm blending them or adding them to anything, it just gives it a more smoother kind of texture. So,
I saw I don't know if you guys know Carly Bodrug. She's from Plant You. She's been on the show, and she made like a coffee beverage out of date pits. I thought, wow, that's interesting.
Oh, interesting. So obviously no caffeine in those.
Right. Because I always just throw them out and I'm like, wow, you can actually use them.
Oh, I might try that. I'm going to save my pits.
You never know.
Maybe I would think you'd have to like dry them out or maybe put them in the oven and roast them or skillet.
I don't know. I didn't watch the video, but I'm going to. It sounded very intriguing.
Here's a trick question for you guys. I've used cherries, pitted. These are pitted. Would these still blend in the Vitamix?
They have pits in them?
You sure do.
Yeah, I would take the pits.
I would probably get them. Hey, who knows? Maybe we can make another beverage out of cherry pits. Who knows?
When you said about making pits, I'm like, wow.
I actually have a little tool from the Pampered Chef that quickly takes out the cherry pits. It's this little metal thing. Yeah, it goes pretty quick.
Yeah. All right. I'm doing the same thing, Cersei. I'm gonna heat up some water and kind of soften the dates. And then I'm going to slice up these cherries and get the pits out.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Work on getting the cherries depitted. I was trying to see if there was some way around that, but I guess not. So
I told the hubbies that it could be frozen cherries too if they couldn't find fresh, because a lot of times frozen cherries, they can be available year round.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
I just love cherries so much.
They are so yummy. They're one of my favorite desserts. I'll just sit there and just eat them as a dessert or a snack.
I know. Yeah. They're good enough to be a standalone dessert, and they're great frozen too. They taste like.
Yeah, that's a nice thing about fruit, is that really they come already ready made as a dessert, really and truly. Like, all that we're doing now is really just a bonus, but just eating these cherries by itself or any of those delicious fruits, it just, it's like the well-made dessert already made.
Yeah, we didn't have cherries, Cersei, when we were in Atlanta. Did we buy any? I don't remember.
We did, because I took the leftovers with me.
Oh. So we bought them. We just didn't. I don't think we used them though.
No, we didn't use them.
Where do you live, Cersei?
I actually live in Georgia. I'm in the most southern part of Georgia. I'm right on the border of Jacksonville. So I kind of feel like I'm a Floridian and a Georgian at the same time, because I go between both states. So I'm right on the border. So I actually live in Georgia, but I frequent Jacksonville. It's like maybe 5 minutes away, 10 minutes.
I think that's where Dr. Stefan Esser is, if I'm not mistaken. I know he's somewhere there. And Gigi, what island do you live on?
I'm on Orcas Island.
I visited there. It's wonderful.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. How did you end up on an island?
Well, okay, so my husband and I were living in San Diego at the time, and we came up to Seattle to vacation, and we were staying at a hotel in downtown Seattle, and we really wanted to go to an island, and we tried to take that Victoria Clipper over to Victoria in Canada, and they were completely sold out. We had a rental car, and the concierge at the hotel recommended we come up to the San Juan Islands, just park our car in Anacortes, hop on a ferry, go over to Friday Harbor, rent some mopeds, and that's exactly what we did. And we just fell in love with the San Juan Islands. And so we kind of knew we wanted to kind of be here at some point in our life. And this was, mind you, this was like 20 years ago. And so it just so happened my husband got an opportunity with a large company in Seattle, Washington. And so we ended up moving to the area. And so we bought this house. And so we were coming here. We had a 516 square foot studio condo in downtown Seattle. So we were there working like during the week in this little shoebox, right? And then we would come up here on the weekends to this home and just like totally just decompress and relax and enjoy nature and everything. And so, we chased our careers for several years. And then I went back to school and got a master's in nutrition sciences. And then we decided, hey, what do we want to do? And so we said, let's just sell our home in Mississippi, which was where we were living at the time, and move here full time. And so that's how we ended up here. Long story, but so we've had this house since 2003, but we've lived here full time since 2017.
Wow, that's neat. Yeah, you have to take the ferry to go over.
Yeah.
Right, or an airplane, like a seaplane or a regional airplane. So, yeah. So my initial thought with this was, I'm in the smoothie bowl mode, but I'm not going to do that today. I think what I'm going to try to make is a like a little fruited pizza with a
Yeah.
with a
Just so you know, guys, maybe tilt your cameras a little because we can see you, but we can't see what you're working on. Yes, thank you so much.
sure.
A little better. Not quite yet. It's there. Now we see your cherries. Well, it keeps moving.
I'm trying to fix the camera.
That's better. Mandy says you both have beautiful kitchens.
Oh, thank
Aw.
you.
So you're not going to see my head, so I'll kind of squat down a little bit.
Well, you can mix it back. You can mix it up a bit, but you know.
Okay, all right.
No, it's not Orcas Island. It's Orcas Island. It's ORCAS, right?
Right, Orcas, yes.
Is
Well,
it?
I'll move over here so you guys can see what I'm doing.
Is that named after the Orcas whale?
You know, I should know this, but I don't know.
You don't know your history of the island? No.
I don't know my island history. I know there's a few people from the island watching. They're probably going to slap me when they see me the next time. But I don't know. I'm sorry. Oh, goodness.
So I think what I'm going to make, that sounds great, Gigi, pizza idea. I think I'm going to make, a brownie topped with like a cherry ice cream scoop on top. So I think that's what I'm going to go with.
That sounds delicious.
So what I've gotten here to make something with oats.
All right.
One of the things that I love doing with desserts, even though of course I love using fruit, but I also love using like beans and other things to kind of hide in the dessert as well. So I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can make a brownie, maybe a blondie with like a chickpeas. And I love doing this because I can get all my nutrients in one. Because I say, well, you're having dessert, why not have your beans and everything else with it too? So that's what I'm going to try to go with.
Yeah, I made some black bean brownies I think it was last week.
Yeah.
They're very good.
So I'm going to try a blondie, and then I'm going to try to top it with like a cherry ice cream. And I turned my oven on, but I think I'm going to experiment and see if I could maybe make little chunks of the blondie and maybe put it in my air fryer and bake it there to speed up the time and see how that goes.
Yeah, that's a great idea, that using the air fryer.
Yeah, just to kind of give it a faster kind of thing. So I don't know if you guys can see me here, but I'm going to go ahead and put 1 can of rinsed chickpeas in the food processor. And then, of course, we have these wonderful oats. So I think I'm going to add the oats. But I think what I'm going to do actually is, let me rewind that. I'm going to grind the oats a little bit first before I put the beans in, just to give it a little more texture.
That's a good idea because chickpeas are pretty neutral.
Yeah, it kind of just take on the flavor or whatever we're doing here. I'm going to go ahead and just put some oats. So this is one of the secret ingredients here. So it's a base.
Are you guys going to write a Daniel cookbook together?
We might, yeah. I think we should, right, Cersei? About it.
And you can include today's 2 new recipes.
Yeah. We're definitely going to add these to the website. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and put these chickpeas in here. What else would I put in here? I always like to use, again, let's see. I have some ground flaxseed that I normally have every day. So again, this is another way to just pop some flaxseed in here. I'm just going to throw some on all this flaxseed.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead, I have almonds, but I'm gonna go ahead and use some almond butter. And this has no salt, no sugar added. So this is strictly just plain almonds.
Nice. All right.
Idea.
And I'm gonna use some unsweetened applesauce too, just to kind of give it a little bit of a watery texture. Applesauce is another secret sauce, I think, when it comes to sweetening your desserts. That kind of gives you a sweetness. I'm just gonna eyeball this, guys.
And adding moisture too.
Yeah, and adding moisture. So I'll have that there.
Okay.
Um,
right.
Do you guys regularly see frozen cherries year round where you live?
Actually, yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah, I think our co-op sells them usually here on the island. So I tend to put them more in smoothies, just because it's just kind of what comes to mind usually. All right, so
what are you making your pizza base out of, Gigi?
So yeah, so I'm gonna use this Ezekiel, the sprouted grain tortilla I got here. There's no added sugar, no oil or anything like that. It's just sprouted grain. And I'm gonna use this as my pizza base. I use this as a pizza base for like regular savory pizzas, but I've never done it with a fruit pizza. So no time, no, you might as well try it out now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think my sauce is going to be a combination of the dates, probably a little bit of applesauce, and I'm thinking about. I know I'm going to top it with some sliced almonds, and then for the oats, I want to put like a little crumble on top. And I'm trying to decide how to do the crumble right now. So that's kind of what's going through my head. Like, how do I do this crumble on top of the pizza? So
I have an idea, but I can't help you.
And I'm almost debating if I should put some, because I do have some coconut shreds.
Ooh.
And if I should dabble some of that in here, or maybe on top after, we'll see. But I'm adding these dates, and I'm kind of just throwing that in there. And then if I need some of the more water, I can actually use this date water that I soaked the dates in. So that's another thing to do. What else can I put in here? So far, guys, I have chickpeas, almond butter, dates, applesauce, cinnamon. How about some cinnamon?
Yes, cinnamon's always good. Have you guys ever tried that Saigon cinnamon, the one that tastes cassia, that tastes like sugar, but it doesn't have sugar?
No.
It's so good. I get it at local spicery, but they probably have other stores that have it.
is it spicy? Is it like the spicy kind of cinnamon?
Oh, it's not spicy. It's just sweet. And every time you taste it, you think they have to have put sugar in there, but they don't. It's just a really yummy cinnamon, especially.
Wow. I do have some goji berries. I might soak some of these to go in the brownie with the cocoa nibs. I'm thinking I'm just gonna try that. Just because these are so nutritious, I like to throw them in stuff, and you never know, it might add a little flavor to tie in the cherry ice cream on top to give it some color too. So I'll soak some of these, and we'll see if I'll stir some of those in. Just play along with it.
Now, how are you making ice cream, Cersei?
I'm going to use bananas and cherries. I have some frozen bananas.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
I always have frozen bananas. So I'm going to do frozen bananas, cherries, and maybe a little bit of milk, plant-based milk.
Anybody here using cocoa powder?
Ooh.
Yes. I've been using the nibs. I actually like
the nibs would be great.
Yeah, I'm going to use the nibs in the brownie. And you know what? Since you said that, AJ, Chef AJ, I might make this a chocolate cherry ice cream. We'll see. Yeah. Add some of the cocoa powder. All right, so this is going to be noisy because I'm going to be blending. Should I put myself on mute? Probably.
It'll probably be okay. Sometimes Zoom mutes it itself. It's interesting.
Oh, okay. All right.
We won't know until you start blending if it's going to mute you or not, though. It is.
Oh, good smell.
I like the suggestions you guys made in the chats.
What do they have? Oh, what are they saying?
Well, I guess I can tell you now because you're so far in your recipe.
Yeah.
They said things like jam bars, cobbler, pie,
Oh,
cookies.
yeah.
As was mentioned a few times. Yep,
Oh, nice.
yep, Lynn, the ingredients are just cherries, dates, and oats. Those are the three they have to use, but they are allowed to use anything from their pantry.
So I'm adding some ground oats to my pizza sauce, partly to kind of thicken it up a little bit, and also to use one of the secret ingredients.
That's a good, yeah. Ooh, Black Forest ice cream. Ooh, that sounds good.
That tastes good.
This takes a little minute to kind of get it all blended together.
All right. So for the crumble, let's see. So Cersei and I have this cook and chat girls night in thing that we do on our in our Facebook group, and we do it. It's kind of multi-purpose. It's to show people, just different ways to add more whole plant foods to their menu, but also because we're recipe testing recipes for the website. So we do it for both. So we usually send it out to people who want to watch us cook live, and so this kind of reminds me of that. It's kind of cool. I love what we're doing here.
Yeah, we normally do a cook and chat every month in our Facebook group. And so this is kind of what we do is kind of fun, just kind of make it.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
All right, that's pretty good. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more applesauce.
How did you guys meet if you're in different cities and didn't know each other?
Yeah, this is such a crazy story. It really happened, like I said, it was in the pandemic. Both of my Gigi has her own site called My True Self, and I have a site called The Faithful Vegan. And during the pandemic, we were doing a lot of YouTube videos, and I have a podcast called Eat Your Best Life. And so we were doing a lot of that, just talking about the comorbidities and, the disparities in the Black community and all of that. And so someone from Gigi's team reached out to me and said, hey, we wouldn't mind coming on your podcast. And so when Gigi came on my podcast and kind of realized that we kind of had the same mission, and I went on her podcast and I told her basically the story, how the Daniel fast transformed my life. And I ended up going, 100% plant-based and overcame high blood pressure after losing my baby. And it was a very story that really appealed to Gigi. And she was like, you know what, do you think you could write an article about the Daniel fast and how it has impacted your health and how that kind of led you to a plant-based lifestyle, even integrated into your life of faith? And so I wrote that article, and after I sent it to Gigi, what happened, Gigi?
Yeah, so I was on my bicycle working out, and I was just thumbing through my website. I pulled up the blog article. I was just reading it while I was on my bike trainer, and I was like, this would really make a great program because, just the way she approached the Daniel fast as a jumping off point to a whole food plant-based lifestyle is something that could be replicated in other people who are faith-based and looking to transform and reverse their chronic disease. And so I sent her an email, like on my phone, just real quick, hey, would you be interested in collaborating? And I'm not kidding, like within seconds, she responded, yes. It was just like so like quick. And see, I'll let you tell the rest of the story.
Yeah, and part of it too, Chef AJ, is that the Daniel fast was just something that was so special to me because it transformed my life. And it was something that I was trying to kind of work on. And so when she said it, I just knew instantly, like, yeah, this is it. And so we both came together, we started collaborating. And I think what happened is we ended up doing a 4-day challenge, Daniel fast challenge. Developed a Facebook group, we wrote a book called A Prayer for Your Health, and started the website, and everything just aligned, our philosophy, our way of thinking, the way we eat, just how we realized that there were so many women that were using faith to make great decisions in their lives, their jobs, what they would choose, moral decisions, but yet it was something that was left untapped when it came to their health. And so it was just something that really just took off. A lot of women resonated with it, and we ended up doing the program like four times, and we just continue to do it. And so we have a very robust Facebook group that does the Daniel Fast Challenge and the program and all of that. So we're excited. And we just met in Atlanta face to face after 1 year of working together, developing all of this stuff. We met face to face for the first time in Atlanta in July. And it's amazing. It's funny that the pandemic brought us together in this situation. So
yeah, super cool. And we spent the whole week together. We were recipe testing, doing smoothies, going live, just having a ball, but working really hard too. Oh, go ahead, Cersei.
Sorry, I didn't want to.
All right, so what I've got so far, I've got my Ezekiel crust, and then I went ahead and put my date oat sauce on here. I also made my crumble. So my crumble is a combination of the rolled oats plus some ground oats to kind of help it stick together. I'm going to throw in a little bit of flaxseed, ground flaxseed as well. But what's really cool, I added some sliced almonds. And then I took and put a little bit of fresh squeezed lemon. And then I also put a little bit of lemon zest. So it's got that cherry lemony thing going on with it. And it smells and tastes really yummy. So I'm going to top my pizza with the cherries and then the crumble and then stick it in the oven. So I'm going to assemble now.
Oh, nice. All right. So here's my batter. It's honestly, guys, this is something that you can just eat right from the tin, but it's really good. It could even be like a cookie dough kind of thing if you want to put half in the fridge. Kids would love this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop out some. I'm going to put it on parchment paper. I'm actually going to stir in some goji berries and some cocoa nibs, and then I'm going to put it in the air fryer. And like I said, I don't think I really baked anything in the air fryer like that before, but I'm going to go ahead and try it. Chef AJ, you're expert on that.
I love the air fryer. Which one do you have?
I happen to have the Ninja. It's like a grill, air crisp, I don't know, dehydrator, all in one. So I'm going to go ahead and just lay out some of this on parchment paper, but I'm going to stir in. Get a bowl. Yeah, that air fryer is a game changer in the world. I'll tell you that. It's like a game changer.
Yeah, you know, I never had an air fryer. You're the one that kind of.
Yeah, I forced Gigi. I said, Gigi, come on now. You got to get an air fryer. You can't go on like this, you know?
And then you were getting on me because I have a food processor, but I had it in my Armageddon closet and I wasn't using it. You're like, what? That needs to be up on in your kitchen somewhere.
Yeah.
So I did bring it up. So
You should do a video on your Armageddon closet. It just sounds intriguing.
Yeah, you should.
yeah, it's got. I have to admit this. I know but I'm just gonna admit it. I was one of those who stockpiled toilet paper.
Uh-oh.
I'm coming clean. I'm coming clean. I did. Hey, when you live on an island,
yeah, you get more paranoid. Yeah.
And you eat a whole food plant-based diet, so you're getting like twice the amount of recommended fiber. You need your toilet paper, folks.
When did you guys hear about plant-based, and what was your stories individually about becoming plant-based?
Yeah, so I became plant-based in 2012. So I'm just over 9 years now, whole food plant-based vegan. And for me, I had struggled with high cholesterol for a while. Back in 2007, I had a routine wellness exam, and my doctor told me that I had the arteries of a 46-year-old, but I was only 35, and my cholesterol numbers were super high, and he wanted to put me on a statin drug. And I was like, you know, I'm only 35. I can't do it. I just can't. I'm not going to take it. So I knew I wasn't taking the best care of myself. I was just so focused on my career. I was doing a lot of traveling. So I was eating, you know, a lot of, you know, animal products regularly and not exercising. And so I just decided that I wasn't going to take the statin. But around the same time, what's really interesting is I learned about the work of Dr. Dean Ornish in his lifestyle heart trial, where he showed that you could reverse heart disease, lower cholesterol, just with lifestyle, eating a whole food plant-based diet. And I remember saying, oh, I can't live without my cheese or my, you know, this or that. And the list was on and on. And I said, well, I'll just do what the USDA recommends. And so, you know, I switched to low-fat dairy, and I was eating more poultry. And my cholesterol levels went from horrible to borderline bad and stayed there for about 5 years. And then I got to a point where I was just kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired all the time. And so I was experimenting with these cleanses. And a friend of mine and I would do these cleanses. There was one called the Master Cleanse. And I remember that coming off of the cleanse, you had to eat basically vegetable broth and vegetables and fruits. And so I would do that before going back to my healthy diet. And after doing these cleanses repeatedly, I realized I felt best when I was eating that transition diet, you know, which was just vegetables and fruit. And I remember coming back from an elaborate vacation in January 2012, and I told my husband and my coworkers and my team, I said, you know, I'm going to go vegetarian. So I said, I'm going to just transition. So I would eat vegetarian twice a week, 3 times a week, gradually, you know, over the months. By June of 2012, I claimed to be vegetarian. And then about a month later, I watched 2 documentaries back to back. So this was July of 2012. One was Earthlings and the other one was Forks Over Knives. And I remember going into the kitchen and telling my husband, I'm going vegan. And he said, okay, I'll do it with you. Because at that time he was kind of pescatarian and struggling with his own health issues. And he knew, you know, eating a plant-based diet, you know, was the right thing. I think I was the one holding him back, to be honest with you. And so it was that instantly, that July 2012, that's kind of what happened. And so my whole world opened up. You know, I changed my career. I started bike racing at 42. I quit my corporate job after 22 years and decided to make whole food, plant-based nutrition my new career. And so, you know, I am driven and motivated to help people take control of their health, reverse their disease with food and exercise and other lifestyle techniques. And not have to, you know, go through what so many millions of people go through on a daily basis in terms of struggling with those diseases. So that's my story.
That's great. I'm so happy your husband got on board. So
Yeah, that was the most intriguing part of it too.
All right. Here's my pizza. I'm going to put it in the oven. Can you see it?
Oh my God, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, yes, I've got the crumble again has oats, both ground and whole rolled oats, some date syrup with lemon juice, a little bit of lemon zest, and sliced almonds. So it's got a lemony kind of almond thing going on.
Yeah, that looks great. So I'll tell you guys my story, but at first I'll show you. So this is what it looks like. This is going to be the blondie. And as you can see, I kind of weaved in some goji berries just to give it an extra nutritional kick. And I did weave in some cacao nibs as well to give it a little chocolatey flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the air fryer.
Thank goodness for the air fryer.
All right, Cersei, you're inspiring me to make some nice cream. So I've got some frozen bananas here and to top my pizza with. Cersei always helps me up my game.
Tell us about, you guys wrote a book together, A Prayer for Your Health journal. Well, tell us about that.
Yeah, I've got a copy of it right here. Yeah, so this journal coincides with a course that we offer. And Cersei, I'll let you do a much better job of articulating the journal. You want to describe it?
Sure. Pretty much it is, for those of you guys who don't know what the Daniel fast is pretty much 30 days of basically eating no foods that are processed, basically a whole food plant-based diet, no preservatives, no sugar, no refined grains and things like that. But what we decided to do, and I'll tell you a little bit about it from my story when I tell my story after, we combined the prayer for your health. And so what it is, it's a 30-day guided journal. And so while you're eating this Daniel fast type of lifestyle, which is whole food plant-based, without any added oils and sugars and all that. This is a guided devotional to kind of help you do the inner work. Because a lot of times what you come to realize is the reason why we struggle so much with food is not just the food. It's because we have so many other issues going on, whether it be emotional and psychological, or even just stress, different ways of coping. And so a lot of times when you clean up your diet, you almost have to do the inner work to clean up your habits and your triggers and other things that are kind of allowing you to be so addicted to the food. Because once you know the facts that, listen, this food is causing heart disease, it's making your blood pressure go up and all of these things, and you can't break away, then there's some work that we have to do. And the prayer for your health is just that. It's guided devotionals. It's also gives you like little nutritional nuggets every single day. And so you have this great, robust way that you could actually not only just abstain from eating like toxic food, but you could do the inner work spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically on that journey. So at the end of the 30 days, the goal is that you are kind of set and ready to go on every level, understanding your triggers, doing the emotional work and all of that. And then you are powered by plants as well. So that's the kind of the concept of it.
Nice. How do people find you generally?
Well, they could go to danielfasttohealthyliving.com. And also, we also have, that's the website. And we also have Daniel Fast to Healthy Living. That's our Facebook group, private Facebook group. And that's also our handle for Instagram as well. So any one of those, danielfasttohealthyliving.com, that handle can find us on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Isn't there a famous church somewhere in California that does sort of like a Daniel thing with their
Yes, he did. You're right. I know who you're talking about. He did one called the Daniel's Plan. And basically what it is very plant rich, but he does add animal products to that one.
Oh, darn.
So it's kind of
So
the
close.
Daniel Plan. It was close, but not close enough. And
Right.
so the actual Daniel in the Bible had only whole foods and he didn't have any animal products. So that's the bonus there. So
Yeah, yours is way better.
So yeah, so that's the story. But I'll just tell you my story quickly while this is baking, and I'll get myself for the ice cream. Is for me, what brought me to a plant-based diet was I was actually in my last trimester of my pregnancy, and I was actually diagnosed with high blood pressure. And at the time, I didn't really know that that if you're diagnosed with high blood pressure, that you have a higher chance of having complications before, during, or after your pregnancy. So this is all in retrospect. And that was actually even higher numbers for African-American women. And so I ended up being put on medication in my last trimester. And so when I was actually having my son, I had a complication and my son lost oxygen to his brain. And so he had to be basically a 24-hour care for about a year, and he ended up passing away like maybe a couple weeks after his first birthday. And so as you guys could imagine, I was at the lowest point in my life, you know, just the grief and the stress and emotional eating. And I think I've gained the most weight I've ever gained. And so I was in this pit, and a friend of mine came up to me one day and she said, "Hey, I'm going to be doing the Daniel fast. Why don't you join me?" And I was like, okay, I'll join you, but I'm going to add eggs and I'm going to add cheese. And I was just kind of refining it maybe into a Daniel plan of my own, you know? And she arrested me right on that spot. She said, "Listen, if you're going to do this Daniel fast with me, you're going to have to do it just the way it's designed." And for some reason that resonated with me. I don't know if it was just my time or what, but I was just so arrested by that. And I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And guys, within 30 days, it's all a blur to me now. My blood pressure was reversed. I lost weight. I had mental and spiritual clarity. All of these miraculous things happened to me in that short time, just by me doing the Daniel fast, praying, fasting, doing my devotionals, but eating a whole food plant-based diet. And I was just so stunned by it. I was like, am I an anomaly? Is this a miracle? What is this? And so I started on this journey of just researching all of these things. And I ended up finding out that the only diet in the world to reverse heart disease is a plant-based diet, and just all the other stuff that it was doing. And I realized, wait a minute, what happened to me wasn't a fluke. It was actually based in science. And so I ended up going on this journey and developing the Faithful Vegan and the Eat Your Best podcast, because I felt like I was just charged with this mission to tell people, listen, your health matters to God. You need to be healthy to do your missions here on earth, whatever that may be, whatever your faith is, you need to be healthy to carry that out. And so I just went on a mission to tell people my story on the experience that I had, and to kind of inspire them to realize that our bodies are all integrated, right? Our emotional, physical, spiritual, they're all integrated. And for us to know that what's on the tip of our fork is also a spiritual practice. And it also plays into how you live out your life emotionally and spiritually. And so I've just been on a mission for that ever since.
Nice. I'm so sorry about the loss of your son.
Yeah, thank you.
That'd be really hard. You know, it's interesting what you said though, Cersei, about that you wanted to do it, but you wanted to do it like with eggs and things. People, I can't tell you how many times people come, you know, they read my book, The Ultimate Weight Loss Program, where I'm doing class. They go, yeah, I want to do your program and I want to have the same results with you, except I want to be able to have coffee and alcohol and oil. And it's like, well, then you're not doing my program.
Exactly. And this is one of the things that we talk so much in the Daniel Fast Bridge to Healthy Living is like, is that moderation is a myth. And if you never give yourself a chance to go in all in 100%, you're never going to know what it feels like to have that 100% feeling of being healthy. And so a lot of times we take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that, but then we're jostling and we never get that full experience. And honestly, Chef AJ, you could attest to this. it's that experience that keeps you going, because you realize, you know what, there's no food that tastes as good as healthy feels. But you never get to feel that if you don't take moderation off the table and say, you know what, I'm going all in. I'm going to do it like prescribed. I'm going to eat what I got to eat. And then you're so nicely surprised that, wait a minute, all the stuff that I thought I needed, I don't need, and I feel so great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. You wrote a children's book, Gigi.
I did. Yeah. It's called The Spinach in My Teeth. Yep. Kind of based on a true story. Inspired by a true story, I should say. Yeah.
I remember once dating my husband had spinach in my teeth and he didn't tell me. And people should tell you when you have spinach in your teeth.
I know, right?
Because it's more embarrassing to not be told.
Right.
It's like when you see somebody with their zipper down, like a man, like, do you say it? Because like, what's more embarrassing, to call it to their attention or to not? You wonder. I don't know what the best thing to do is in a case like that.
The person gets embarrassed saying it, so it's like you're so embarrassed saying it, and just like, I'll just let it pass, But
That's a tough one. That sounds like a Dr. Lyle question next time he's on.
I'm checking out my pizza. It's coming along. I think it's got a few more minutes to bake here. And I rolled up some fresh mint leaves, and I kind of, you know how you do basil and you kind of julienne it. So that's kind of what I did with these mint leaves. So I'm gonna put this on top of my pizza after it comes out. And then I've got the nice cream in the freezer hanging out until the pizza's ready. So
you already made it already?
What's that?
You already made the nice cream?
Yeah, well, yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I put myself on mute and did that because I didn't want to. I think it was while you were sharing your story, Cersei.
Okay. I think I'm going to make a serving of this.
I know I've seen dessert pizzas, but they're usually made with like the refrigerated cookie dough, it has a lot of sugar.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I swear I love this Ezekiel. I use it a lot. I use it for wraps. I use it, but I mostly use it for pizza, just veggie pizzas.
Yeah, it's perfect pizza.
Yeah. I just throw some marinara, some tomato sauce, some spaghetti sauce, whatever kind of marinara sauce. And then I just load it up. Oh, my key with the savory pizza though, what makes it really tasty and why like my husband loves it is I put fennel seed and then just sun-dried tomato, not the kind in the oil, but just like the real sun-dried tomato, just the one that comes in the package. And so when I add those two things to it, and then I'll put maybe some capers on it or something like that, and then just load it up with veggies. And you don't even need any of the vegan cheeses just because you get so much flavor from the fennel and the sun-dried tomato. I find that it's really good. And then of course we like spicy stuff. So I'll either put crushed red pepper or jalapeno on it. But anyway, it's a staple in our house, this Ezekiel.
Nice. You guys, what do you guys eat like on a daily basis? Do you use a lot of Instant Pot recipes, things like that?
Yeah. I use my Instant Pot a lot in terms of I just make like a lot of bulk beans. And then I'll just pull from the beans throughout the week, or I'll make in my Instant Pot like some kind of grain as well. I think you're frozen, Gigi. And then just use them throughout the week. But I've made some wonderful stews. I've made one of my favorites is a collard green black eyed peas stew in the Instapot. So I love it. Instapot is another one that I really, really love as well. Yeah.
I don't think they had the Instant Pot yet in the Bible, huh?
Well,
All right, I got my pizza out of the oven. I'm gonna turn my camera so you can see it.
Oh yeah, that's a gross. Evelyn had a good suggestion. Truffles would have been good too. There's so many things you can make with those 3 ingredients. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And none of the chefs on any of the Iron Chefs ever did the same interpretation. That's what I love about it.
All right. So you'll see my counters.
For the night cream, guys, all I did was put some frozen bananas, some of the cherries, and a little tad bit of plant-based milk, and then just kind of, I put it actually in the food processor this time and just kind of blended it out. That's it.
Okay, so this is my pizza out of the oven. It looks GBD, so hopefully it is.
Do you have anybody there to taste it? Any kids, pets, husbands, anything?
Yeah, I know my dogs will love it, especially Bree, because she'll eat pretty much anything. But Kevin, I think, is on a conference call. See if I can interrupt him for a moment to come up.
And there's a question, what exactly is Ezekiel dough?
It's not a dough, actually. It's a sprouted grain tortilla.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's made, I'll read the ingredients here. It's got organic sprouted wheat, filtered water, organic sesame seeds, organic sprouted soybeans, organic sprouted barley, organic sprouted millet, organic sprouted lentils, organic sprouted spelt, and sea salt.
Nice.
So, yeah, so the salt is, I mean, it's got 125 milligrams of sodium, which is very low. It's like, 5% of the daily. So, let's see. All right, so I've got the pizza. I'm gonna put my little mint on top. Probably should put this on my little serving platter. It's hot.
What are those cherries that I've been seeing lately at Trader Joe's? They're almost like yellow. You know what I'm talking about? Like they're not red.
Yes, I've seen them. I'm not sure what the name of them, but I've been seeing them at the grocery store lately. Yeah, I'm looking up the name. What is the name of those yellow cherries?
I wish I could.
Like they're called Rainier cherries.
Oh, Rainier. Yeah, well, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have known that. I think those are Washington cherries. There's a Mount Rainier here in Washington State. It's a famous mountain. I'm gonna take a picture of this one. Sorry, y'all. This is
Oh, it's beautiful.
yeah, it looks good. Hopefully it tastes good too. All right.
Are you almost plating yours? I should go ahead and plate.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna plate, and I'm gonna see if I can grab Kevin. Is your husband there, Cersei? Is
My daughter will probably be home shortly, so we'll see if she makes the cut.
I thought of the name before the show. Cersei, I asked you about your name, and I said there's this actress, and I never could pronounce her name, and I still can't. She's from the movie Brooklyn, and her last name's Ronan, and it's Saoirse. But I think it's pronounced similar to yours, like Cersei or I don't.
Yes, wrong. Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce that one.
But
Yeah,
Cersei I can pronounce, thankfully.
yeah. My name became popular with Game of Thrones, but my dad actually named me after a plant in Jamaica, which is called Sersie plant. And it's like a medicinal plant that we use in Jamaica. We grew up making it into a tea. And so a lot of Jamaicans are familiar with this concept of Cersei tea. And that's what my dad named me after.
Well, I think he had some foresight because he ended up a plant-based person. So
exactly. And I'm named after a plant. Who knew that it was something circle?
Yeah. And your skin is beautiful. Wow, Diane Devon met her. How did you meet her? She's a wonderful actress. I just have trouble pronouncing her name. Saoirse. So yeah, I'm glad. Well, she's not on the show, so it's not a worry. Yeah, thank you, Rebecca. I finally figured out the split screen. If you see the first Iron
All
Chef
right,
box.
guys. You see how that looks? That looks really yum.
Oh,
Yummy.
nice.
Yeah.
Almost looks like a scone to me. You know,
Yeah,
has
it almost looks like a scone. Yeah. So this might be a scone. Who knows? We probably have to rename it. I'm gonna go ahead.
Guys, we have one more Iron Chef coming up. We just couldn't get the chef on that day, so it's going to be on Labor Day, and we have Chef Ramses Bravo versus Chef Collins. So
Ooh,
we might. We're going to make theirs harder. I'm going to give them stuff I'm going to purposely try to give them stuff I know they don't like.
give them some natto.
Nobody wants eggplant, so maybe we'll use that. And I'm going to throw in a little wrench where they each can tell the other something they have to use. So we're going to figure it out because they can handle it. They're chefy chefs and they do that. Oh,
Yeah,
you met her at
that's
the Telluride Film Festival. I hope she was nice.
All right, I'm gonna go see if I can get my husband Kevin.
If not, you can taste it. Oh, look at that ice cream on top. Anything with ice cream on top is perfect.
All right. All right. Yeah, you can taste it right this second if you want.
Yeah, you can taste yours for sure.
All right, I'll give you guys, we have a taste tester coming.
Oh, that looks beautiful. The texture and the color.
And the color. All right.
How about a couple of cacao nibs sprinkled on top?
Oh, yes.
Nope, I'm not supposed to help, but I just figured, you know, the plating or a mint leaf, you know, got it garnished.
Yeah, that would be nice.
All right, my husband's coming up here.
Oh, now it's perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
And hey, Kevin, thanks for getting the ingredients. Which one weren't you able to find?
All right.
We happened to, they only had, again, I'll confuse pitted versus not pitted, but they didn't, the stores didn't have pitted dates. So we happen to have pitted dates.
I was just trying to make it easier on the chefs, but thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, go ahead. Give a taste. So let's do
All right.
taste right now. All right.
I'm putting the nice cream on top so you can see it. Yes.
Okay, we have a thumbs up over here with this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just
All right.
maybe.
All right, goodbye. So I'm going to go ahead and taste test it myself.
Yeah.
See.
It looks really pretty, Jerry's saying.
Mm.
I would say this looks gorgeous.
I mean, she took a picture, thankfully. Hopefully, Cersei, you took a picture of yours, and hopefully you guys will remember what you did so you can write it down as soon
I know.
as it's over.
Yeah, this is pretty good. It does have a brownie, scony kind of texture. It's nice. And it's creamy. Mm. Mm.
Wow.
I don't know where
You can't go wrong with cherries, guys. You just can't.
Yeah.
The crust is good. It's flaky. It's not dry to me.
Mhm.
The cherries are delicious. The nice cream is delicious.
The oats. Little crumbles.
I would say that this is a tie.
Crumble as well. What's the base?
That's the Ezekiel or
I
tortilla.
think it's frozen. Can't
Wow.
see it.
These are delicious. I'm just going to take this one. So
I'll give you a plate.
Well, I think you both knocked it out of the park. I really do. And it was all made from real food. Well, hopefully you
Yeah.
guys remember what you did so that you can write this down, because they both look like
Yeah.
amazing recipes for your book and for your class.
and I won't leave any behind because it is good.
Not one.
And you know what? I'll just take this as well.
It's good.
Yeah.
So I got these two. So I took another one. So
Oh, nice.
I figured I'm just gonna share some. I'm gonna move some of that ice cream over there so I can get 2 slices instead of 1.
When
Thank
people
you.
criticize the plant-based diet, I'm like, oh, you guys are eating pizza and ice cream. My goodness.
Yeah, I know. Can you imagine?
Wow. You guys are delightful. And I'm gonna put myself back here. And thank you so much for what you guys did. Oh, no, I'm still not back. I'm back. Yay. Nice. Well, thank you guys. So where do you prefer people to follow you? Instagram, Facebook, where, if we're going to send them somewhere, where do you like to send them?
Well, we would love to have you guys in our private Facebook group, Daniel Fast Bridge to Healthy Living. That we would love to have you guys join us in there.
Yeah. We have show notes to everything we talked about today, your books, your ventures, your podcasts.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is look below this broadcast. If you're watching on Facebook, you'll have to go to YouTube to see it. So this was a lot of fun. I'm so glad we got to spend some
I'm glad you did it.
Yeah, this is
great.
fun. I
You guys
enjoyed it.
you have beautiful skins. Is it? Do you guys have any secrets?
Plant. A lot of
Well, you were
plants,
named after a plant, after all. I guess.
And yeah, a lot of plants, a lot of fruit, a lot of hydration. Gigi could attest to that. That's the key.
Yeah.
Right.
Just a whole bunch of whole food, plant-based goodness. That's what it is. Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you guys so much. You did a great job. You both look delicious. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Please come back tomorrow when we have a wonderful rocket scientist turned plant-based doctor, Dr. Nikki Davis, who was the very first person on the show a long time ago when we started. Thanks, Daniel Fasters.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care.